Welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we are going to be rebuilding the Orlando Magic, a team that is still relatively young and I think has a pretty good future ahead of themselves. The Magic are currently 27-38, which gives them the 13th spot in the East. They're not going to be a playoff team this year. They're not going to be a play-in team this year, but they're going to have another high draft pick, and they're going to continue building up this really nice young core they've kind of been building throughout the past couple seasons. So I'm super excited for this one today. Obviously, they had the number 1 overall pick last year. Took Paolo Banchero. He's been great so far his rookie season, except for, three-point shooting in the month of February. But we're not going to talk about that right now. We do have a great young core here, and I think we're going to get a championship today. And finally, as always, let me know any other video ideas you guys do have down below in the comment section. You guys have been asking to get back into some challenges, so if you guys want to see challenges, let me know which ones you want to see down below in the comment section, along with any other, post-trade deadline rebuilds that you guys still want to see me do. Of course, you guys are new around here as well, or just have not yet subscribed to the channel. We'd love it if you could do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, stick around a while. And yeah, man, let's see if we can get 100 likes in this video. That would be awesome. But yeah, man, we got a really, really good young core here in Orlando. Let's dive in, take a look at it, and hopefully get them a championship. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at this team that we currently have right here in Orlando. I mean, again, I just gave a whole lot of credit to this young core, and I really do think it's one of the more underrated young cores kind of in the entirety of this league. So we started at the point guard position, where we have two pretty decent options. Now, I'm hoping maybe one of these guys can develop to be a starting point guard on a championship team. I just don't know if we'll get there, but I have hope, and we're obviously going to take it year by year and go from there. We have Markelle Fultz, former number 1 overall pick by the Philadelphia 76ers. He's had his ups and his downs, man. I hope he can continue to get his career back on track, but it's definitely been a lot better here in Orlando than it was probably for his time in Philadelphia. We have Cole Anthony here as well, only 22 years old. I'll probably actually start Cole Anthony. I like his potential just a little bit better than I do on Markelle Fultz. We have Jalen Suggs here at the shooting guard spot. Again, I think that we could potentially turn him in to a guy that can be in the high 80 overalls, because I've seen it happen before, and if progression goes well, maybe we'll get there. Nothing's 100% obviously, but we will see. We have Gary Harris, not a bad backup option at the shooting guard spot. We have Franz Wagner, who is the highest overall rated player on this team, has been tremendously underrated in my opinion, and will continue to be my starting small forward most likely for the majority of this video. Jonathan Isaac was back for about 8.5 minutes, and then he got injured again and is now out for the rest of the season again. And yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with Jonathan Isaac, but we don't play with injuries on, so he'll probably just be my backup small forward for now. Paolo Banchero, former number 1 overall draft pick, has had a really good rookie year so far, besides, the three-point shooting, but it's okay. We have Bol here, who I feel like I really haven't heard a lot about in the past couple months. Like, to start the season, I feel like just scrolling through Twitter, there was a clip of this man doing something just ridiculous every single game. I feel like I haven't heard about him in a minute. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I watch a ton of Orlando Magic games, or even pretend I do, but I don't know what's happened with Bol. But he will be my backup. We have Chuma Ukiki here as well. 74 overall, 24 years old. We'll figure out what we want to do with him eventually. And then the center spot's an interesting one for me. Wendell Carter Jr. being only 23 is a little underrated. I felt like he's always been like 25, 26, but yeah, he's only 23, man, so we'll see. Mo Wagner here as well, and then Goga Batazde, or I can't pronounce the dude's name, but probably won't be in the rotation for now. But yeah, man, we're going to set the rotation 27-38. It's weird saying it, but I don't want to be in the playoffs or even in the play-in. I'll see you guys at the rotation. So I kind of opened this video by saying that I want to go ahead and I still want to start Cole Anthony, and that's what I'm going to do. Again, he's only 22 years old. I have seen him develop really, really well in this game, so I'm going to give him a shot, and if it doesn't end up working out, it doesn't end up working out. It is what it is. I think I've seen Fultz start a few games for them. Don't hold me to that. Recently, anyways. I just like the potential of Cole Anthony. Him and Jalen Suggs going to be in the backcourt together, followed by Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and Wendell Carter Jr. The bench unit's actually pretty decent, and that's not always something I can say on teams that really aren't so good. So it's kind of a nice little thing to kind of have here in Orlando. We have Markelle Fultz, Mo Wagner, Bol, Jonathan Isaac, and then Gary Harris. I'm only playing Isaac 12 minutes a night. One, because Wagner is our highest overall, and he's our starting small forward. And then second, he's also injured right now and out for the year. I don't play with injuries on, but is what it is. 27-38, man. Let's just get through the rest of this year and then hopefully have a pretty good offseason. Year 1 comes to a close, and Nikola Jokic wins his 3rd straight MVP, averages a triple-double, and yeah, pretty deserving of it if I do say so myself. Paolo Banchero wins Rookie of the Year for us, so I almost averages 20 points a game, 6.5 boards, 3.5 assists. Got to get that three-point percentage up a little bit, but really good rookie season nonetheless. Tyus Jones, 6th Man of the Year. Well, I don't know about that one. For me, I think I got to throw Emmanuel quickly up there right now. I think Brogdon's obviously still up there. And, I mean, does Maxey start now? I don't even know. Giannis wins Depoy, Şengün most improved, Mike Malone is your coach of the year. So we are not in the playoffs, which I think is probably a good thing. The higher draft pick, the better, and we ended up going 33 and 49. So that's obviously not great, but it's going to give us a projected, what is that, top 5-ish pick? So that's always a good thing to see. Let's take a look at the numbers. Led in scoring by Ben Carroll, then Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter Jr., Fultz, Anthony Suggs, Wagner, Bull, Harris, Isaac, Chuma Ukiki. Rebounds was Wendell Carter Jr. and assists was Fultz. So let's just sim through the playoffs to get through this hopefully one and only bad season here in Orlando. I'm not going to lie. I could see this team being in the playoffs next year. Paul George wins Western Conference Finals MVP and Trae Young wins Eastern. You have a Clippers and a Hawks final. I think that would be a surprising final this year, to say the least. You got a battle of a 5 versus 6 seed right now. The Atlanta Hawks go on to win it all, and Trae Young puts up 41, 3, and almost 12, while shooting 47, almost 48% from three-point. That's insane. That's insane. Let's get into the offseason. Let's hit the draft lottery. Obviously a pretty big moment for us, as we are hoping to have one of these kind of top picks. I can simulate it. I can almost guarantee my pick's going to drop below 5. That's what happens when I simulate these things. Oh, we actually move up. For the first time ever, I move up, and I have the number 3 overall selection. Now, what do I want to do with that? Because I like our starting lineup. I don't necessarily feel like there's a position we have to draft right now. Jamal Mosley, I'll give another go. I'm going to give him a year, obviously, with me kind of running things, and we'll go from there. We have the 3rd overall pick. Obviously, 1, 2 in this class are nearly 100% solidified. Number 1 definitely is 100%. Victor Wembanyama is the number 1 pick. There's been some chatter anyways recently that potentially Brandon Miller could hop Scoot Henderson. I don't think it should happen, but I'm saying it's there. But obviously, we're guaranteed one of those 2 players if we sit there at 3. But I don't really need a small forward, and I kind of like our point guard options. So I'm not really sure what I want to do right now. Let me figure this out. I think we all know Victor Wembanyama is going to go 1, but I'm going to see who goes 2. Because if Brandon Miller goes 2, there's a possibility that I might consider drafting Scoot. I mean, I think he's just such an unbelievable talent, and I really do believe he can be our point guard for the remainder of this video. So Victor goes 1. It's going to be interesting to see who Houston chooses here at 3. They don't really need a point guard. They have KPJ, but let's see what happens. Who do they take? They take Brandon Miller. So if we want Scoot Henderson, he's ours. I mean, he can be in Orlando Magic right now. It all really comes down to who do I want to draft here at number 3, and do I even want to keep this pick? So it's a tough decision for me, and don't get me wrong, it's not like I really have to get a point guard right now. I mean, Fultz is a fine option here. You can say the same about Cole Anthony, but I just feel like Scoot's such a transcendent player that I really feel like, him, Paolo, Wagner is a really, really good big 3 to start out a rebuild when you have 3 years left. So that's the way I'm going to go with the pick. It might not be the right pick, but it's the one I'm going to make. And, yeah, man, what else do we have here in terms of pick? We also have 15, then 5 in the second round. I don't need a second-round pick, but we will draft somebody at number 15. Maybe we can get a bench depth piece, maybe a replacement for Gary Harris, something like that. Keontae George, honestly, could be that guy. He's the highest rated overall according to our scouting department. So, Keontae George, welcome to the team here in Orlando. And I'm happy with my pick. We have an 80 overall in Scoot Henderson and a 76 here in Keontae George. Very happy I kept that pick. So, team player options, not a realistic rebuild. Obviously going to be bringing everybody back. Qualifying, Admiral Schofield, probably not. Really didn't even come close to cracking the rotation for me. Does not need a qualifying offer. We enter free agency. We have Goga as a free agent. I don't really need a third center on, kind of the way I run my rosters. I'd like to get Wagner back. I think he could contribute to this team. Obviously, we have Franz Wagner here. I want to get Mo Wagner back potentially. But I think there's still a couple things we can do with this team to potentially change it up. Obviously, I don't need 3 point guards, so one of these guys could potentially get traded, but I just got to figure out who that's going to be. This is a trade I've done a few times, and it's one that typically works out for me. The Spurs offer me their first-round pick next year. I'm actually going to try to get it to where it's unprotected, because I think no matter which way you look at it... Actually, hang on a minute. Is there a way I can finesse this in order to get both? You want Wendell Carter Jr. now. I'm not going to do that for Charles Bassey, but how about if instead I will give you my first in 2025, and you want Gary Harris, and you'll give me Charles Bassey, and these are both unprotected next year? I got to do this. There's just absolutely no way I can say no to a Hornets and a Spurs pick that are both unprotected heading into next year's draft. I mean, Markelle Fultz is a good player, don't get me wrong. He's not a great player. He's not a transcendent player like I believe Scoot Henderson can be. Fultz is a decent option. He's also an expiring contract. I'm going to make this trade. So, not a bad move, in my opinion. We get 2 really valuable first-round picks next year. We also are able to keep our own first, because there's still some potential that we maybe not even a play-in team next year. I think more than likely we'll be a play-in team at a minimum, but just in case, it's always good to have some insurance and something like that. So we have our 2 point guards moving forward. Also, don't get me wrong, I'm fully aware Cole Anthony is also a free agent next season, or next offseason, but as of now, I don't, one, think he would require as much money as Fultz, and also he still is a couple years younger, so it's still a backup point guard. I'm going to give another year to Suggs. Obviously, we just drafted Keontae George as well. I'm hoping Jalen Suggs can kind of take this next step next season. Again, if he really doesn't, then maybe we'll have to think about an upgrade at the shooting guard spot. But as of now, he'll still be our starting shooting guard with our newly drafted Keontae George as his backup. I'm going to roll with Wagner. We picked up the team option on Jonathan Isaac. He's an interesting one for me. I don't know if I'm going to 100% keep him, but he's here for now. We obviously have Ben Carroll. Bol I'm comfortable with. Probably going to move on from Chuma Okeke. And then we got Birch, who actually was a Magic for a decent amount of time. I think I'd actually rather have Charles Bassey be the backup here, so we definitely still have a couple more trades to go. We're doing this trade with the Chicago Bulls and are going to be acquiring their first-round draft pick in 2027. More than likely, it will be a trade piece at some time in a future offseason or whatever that may be. So we now have our backup center here in Charles Bassey. I know I said I wanted to bring Mo Wagner back, but end of the day, it's still a backup center. I'm not really too worried about it, especially because Wendell Carter Jr. actually been pretty solid for us. So we're good there. In terms of small forwards, I'll probably keep Isaac one more year. He's still a good defensive piece, and obviously I don't play with injuries on, so I'm not extremely worried about it. And I think Chuma Okeke is just really doesn't have a place here, as unfortunate as that is. He's 24 years old. He's an expiring contract. For me, it makes sense to go out and either get a draft pick, and I don't really need anything else. So draft pick from literally anybody as long as it's a first. San Antonio wants to give me another first. That's Toronto's first, which actually could be decent as well. I'm not saying it's going to be a top 5 pick, but could be a lottery pick potentially. And then do we have, we have Caleb Houston down here, who was a second-round pick in 2022. I'll probably hang on to him for now. Actually, is he expiring? If he's expiring, I might move on. Nope, he's not. All right, I'll hold on to Caleb Houston just because could be a good depth piece maybe if eventually we move on from Isaac and Houston progresses, whatever it may be. So that's the team moving into year 2. I think we made some decently small improvements to this team that are going to be for now, but in the long run, they're going to be tremendous for us. I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. I'm really liking the way this team's kind of coming together. Are we, going to be a top seed in the East this year? No, I don't even think we're going to be anywhere close to that, but we're really kind of setting the foundation to potentially have a really good team in just a couple years' time. So here's how it's going to look. We obviously took Scoot Henderson 3rd overall, made a big decision in terms of the future of our point guard spot, and I'm really excited to see what he kind of brings to the table here. It's nice to see Jalen Suggs' overall going up. He's up to an 80 overall, as you can see. Again, I do care about the numbers when we're not maybe winning games, so hopefully Jalen Suggs can go out and put up a pretty good year for us in terms of, points, rebounds, assists, percentages, everything like that. Franz Wagner going to continue to be my small forward. I have no plans of moving on from him or Paolo Banchero at all. And then Wendell Carter Jr., and actually only an 81 overall. I thought it'd be a little bit higher, but he's also really not getting paid a ton of money for being pretty good, honestly. So I'm fine with him for now. The bench is still pretty decent. We have Cole Anthony as our 6th man now. Started last year for us, obviously moves to the bench now. Keontae George, who I just drafted. Now, he's not the 2nd highest overall off the bench, but I do want to progress him as much as possible. That's why I'm playing him the 2nd most minutes. Followed by Bol, Jonathan Isaac, and then Charles Bassey. So it's an interesting bench. It's pretty good depth and not a bad team. I don't really know where we're going to fall. I'm hoping maybe 6 seed, 7 seed, something like that. Now, we'll find out at the end of year 2. Year 2 ends with a record of 39 and 43. So maybe wasn't that 5 or a 6 seed, 7 seed, even anything like that we were hoping. But we maybe snuck into the play-in as a 9 or a 10, something like that. We will see. Trae Young is your MVP. He won a Finals MVP last year as well. Victor Wembanyama, Rookie of the Year, obviously was the 1st overall selection. Jordan Poole, 6th Man of the Year. Anthony Davis, Defensive Player of the Year. Tyler Hero, Most Improved. Quinn Snyder does take home Coach of the Year for the Atlanta Hawks. So let's take a look at the standings. We actually did end up in the play-in as a 9 seed. So we'll be playing Toronto here in the first round, who went 35 and 47. We also do have their first round draft pick. And then how were the Hornets? 33 and 49. So it's not going to be a tremendous pick, but the Spurs pick is going to end up being pretty good, it looks like. So let's take a look at the stats and just see who did what and how everything kind of looked. Ben Carroll was a really solid piece for us. Scoot Henderson, pretty solid rookie year, around 17 points, 3.5 boards, 6 assists, was 51% from the field. Did he shoot a lot of threes? Yeah, the 3-point shooting on this team isn't really great. That's something we're going to have to work on. Potentially go out and get kind of some sort of sharpshooter this offseason, but again, we'll address it when we do get there. Wagner, Suggs, Wendell Carter Jr., Cole Anthony, Keontae George. So looks like everything's relatively spread out with kind of the way this team's constructed, but we'll see how it ends up working out here for us in the play-in. We have Toronto here in the first round. Let's take a look at their team real quick. Fred VanVleet, Nick Smith Jr., Scotty Barnes, Siakam, Jakob Pearl. I forgot he's back there. OG Anunoby coming off the bench now. Interesting decision. Let's just sim this game, and we end up losing, actually, which means we are officially eliminated. I didn't see that one coming necessarily, but it happened, and let's just sim the rest of the playoffs. And we have a Cleveland Cavaliers and a Denver Nuggets finals matchup. Sim it, and the Cavs go on to win it, and Donovan Mitchell is your finals MVP at the age of 27. So, offseason number 2 heading into year number 3. I'm still feeling pretty good about this team and where we are. We might have to make a decision if we want to go out and maybe acquire just some superstar talent or something like that. We're currently projected 6, 7, and 11, which is not too bad. Let's see what ends up happening. We end up with number 7. We end up with number 4, which is great, and we have number 11 as well. So we move up in the lottery for a second time today. 2K's being nice to me today. Maybe they know my Celtics are in shambles right now. Jamal Mosley, I'll give one more year. Past this, I'm probably going to look to move on. But if we go out and get a star player specifically, and, you know, we're just still not really doing as well as I think we should be, I'll probably move on. But he's safe for now. And let's head up to the draft because we are obviously going to have to make some pretty big decisions here with the 4th, 7th, 11th, 15th overall picks. So we got a lot of first-round draft picks. We have 3 in the lottery and then 15 as well. Let's figure out what we're going to do here. We just overpaid a lot, but we got Donovan Mitchell on the team. I don't really know why I did that. It was a complete overpay, and I knew it was a complete overpay when I did it, but we gave up a whole lot of draft picks, Wendell Carter Jr. and Keontae George, and we acquired Donovan Mitchell on this team, who obviously just won a finals MVP and is going to be our new star player moving forward. For me, we needed an upgrade somewhere. If I looked at the starting lineup, I think the maybe one weak spot was the shooting guard spot, and now it's going to be the center position because I just had to trade Wendell Carter Jr. because I had nobody else to trade. We still do have the 7th overall pick, however, which is, I think, maybe one of the only good things. We also have a whole lot of second-round picks here that I don't really need. So, yeah, we're going to have to figure out a way to find ourselves a new starting center because we currently have absolutely 0 on this roster. Who is available here at pick number 7? Let's just see. Matas Buzelis is here. Low-key, I'm going to take him. I've seen how well this dude can progress in, you know, my league, my NBA, whatever the hell you want to call it. And, yeah, 78 overall will be the new backup here. And I'm going to bring back Jonathan Isaac. He's 100% a trade candidate now for me to go out and find myself a new starting center because obviously it is a pretty glaringly big hole there at that center spot right now. We don't have money for Anthony Davis. Well, hang on a minute. How much? Oh, actually, we have a lot of free agents, don't we? Yeah, I'm not going to just let Cole Anthony and Bol go. I mean, Anthony Davis, though, would be a super fun addition here. But he looks like he just wants to go back to the Lakers. So I'm just going to go out and find a trade for another center in some way, shape, or form. And, yeah, I'll see you guys with that. We are slowly becoming the Cleveland Cavaliers as we just acquired Jarrett Allen, and he is going to be our new starting center. So we have 2 of the better players from the Cleveland Cavaliers now. We have Donovan Mitchell, and we have Jarrett Allen. I didn't think the trade was going to go through. That's why I didn't really say anything. But it is, what is that, 3 first-round picks. Isaac, Houston, and Charles Bassey, and Jarrett Allen is here because we're ready to win, and we're ready to win now. I think that's kind of what it comes down to. And we still have some big free agents here. Obviously, want to get Cole Anthony and Bol back. And I'm liking this team a lot, man. I really am. I was pleasantly surprised that we were able to pull off either of those trades. Never mind, both of them. And, yeah, Bol wants about $15 million a year, and Cole Anthony wants about $17. So I'll just pay them both. We are not in the final season yet, but we are slowly approaching it. And I'm pretty happy with the moves we made so far. So, backups, we really only need to find ourselves a backup center now. But other than that, this team looking a whole lot better than we were at one point. Who am I looking for in terms of centers? I got Chimzi Metu yesterday. He wasn't a terrible option. But I just feel like I could maybe get somebody a little bit better. Like, maybe if I sign like a Jayshawn Tate and then trade him, I think I could honestly pick up a better backup center than that. So let's trade Jayshawn Tate now. Yes, I know this is not realistic. This is not a realistic rebuild, so I hope we're pretty clear on that. Centers. Not really seeing anybody at the center position right now, which is a little bit unfortunate. And I'm out of first-round picks as well. So, yeah, man, we are either going to have to maybe make something work here by ourselves, or we're just going to have to I don't even know. We're going to have to... Oh, come on, Lenny. Beautiful. Welcome to the team. That was our final trade offer, and we accepted. I'll see you guys at the start of year 3. We had a pretty crazy offseason, acquiring 2 of the better players from the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Donovan Mitchell and Jarrett Allen, and this team looks like they are ready to win now. It's Scoot Henderson, Donovan Mitchell, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and Jarrett Allen. The bench is also really, really good. Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, Bol, Matas Buzelis, and Kevon Looney. I did not think this team would look like this. We obviously traded away basically every single draft pick we own, and we are completely going all in, and we're ready to win now. I'll see you guys at the end of year 3. I believe our final record was 67-15 here at the end of year 3. Obviously very good, and we really made a lot of moves to make us good now, so I'm happy that they obviously panned out, at least in the regular season. Darius Garland has no Donovan Mitchell, no Jarrett Allen, and is still winning MVPs. Very impressive. Alzer Thompson, Rookie of the Year. He was the number 10 overall pick by the Indiana Pacers. Pretty good rookie year. Cade Cunningham, what? What? Well, we're going to go over to Detroit, and we're going to take a look at what's going on there, because, yeah, I'm not quite sure a world where Cade Cunningham is not starting. Oh, you added Tyrese Halliburton. Okay, that team scares the shit out of me. I'm hoping I don't have to see them. How is Cleveland still this good? Like, don't get me wrong, I get it. Like, Darius Garland's here, Evan Mobley's here, but like, you don't have Donovan Mitchell or Jarrett. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. Let's take a look at the numbers on the year, see how everybody did. It was Donovan Mitchell, Paolo Banchero, Scoot Henderson, Jarrett Allen, Wagner, Suggs, Anthony Muzelis, Bol, Kevon Looney. Rebounds was led by Allen, and assists was Scoot Henderson. So we are obviously the 1 seed here. We have Philadelphia in the first round. Harden, Maxey, Lou Dort, Boucher, Embiid. Very good team. Philadelphia, I don't know. Are we going to be able to beat them? I really hope we are. We're up 3-1 right now. We do... Don't do this to me. Okay. We win at 7. Thankfully, we don't choke. We have the Atlanta Hawks here, who have actually already won a finals in this video. Trae Young put up like 41 points and shot like 57% from 3 in that finals. So Atlanta definitely scares me. We are up currently 3-1 against them. And don't blow this again. We are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I just showed you this Cavs team. I'm a little surprised they're here. Keontae George has been actually pretty decent for them. Wendell Carter Jr., not a great playoff. Not really a tremendous regular season either. But nonetheless, they're here. And yeah, man, I'm hoping we can beat them. I hope nobody wants any revenge on us, and it looks like they might. Okay, come on. Really, 2K? Really? I take Donovan Mitchell, who just... What? Who, I don't even know. I was going to say he turns into prime MJ every time like he's in the playoffs, but like, what? Well, maybe I should have drafted Brandon Miller. I can't believe the Cavs are in the finals right now, and they just won. I mean, Darius Garland is... I don't even know how to describe this right now. Are you Allen Iverson? I mean, what is going on? You just carried a team that really had no business being there to a championship. I guess Cleveland got the last laugh there. Obviously, we want to go out, and we definitely want to win a championship in our final season. I don't even know why I'm showing the draft lottery. Obviously, we don't have any picks in it. It's the Pacers, the Rockets, the Mavericks, the Hawks, and the Thunder. Let's head up to staff signing. I'm not saying it's Jamal Mosley's fault, but I am saying that I need my boy Mike Stauffer here. Really? Come on, Mike. All right. I literally was about to lose my mind. I thought this was Doris Burke at first. Underwood's here. Ty Lue here. Actually, some pretty decent ratings, so I'll take a flyer on Ty Lue. I don't think Ty Lue is a great head coach. I think he makes a lot of bad decisions with rotations, but for me, you know, he's an experienced coach who's been here before, and that's kind of what we need right now. We do not need a second-round pick. We will head up to team player options. I don't believe we have any... Oh, we do have some big free agents. Donovan Mitchell definitely classifies, and holy shit. Okay, yeah, I was very wrong. We have a lot more big free agents than I thought we did originally. I mean, it would be fun to go out and get a Tatum, but then we'd have to renounce the rights on basically everybody. And, yeah, I just can't do that. So Donovan Mitchell, I'm obviously going to pay. That's the most lets me give him. Going to make sure he comes back here. It's the final year, so Wagner's going to get a qualifying offer. And then let's see. We have Jalen Suggs also going to be getting a qualifying offer. And then I can't sign Kevon Looney right now, but I obviously will when the time does come. All right, I mean, there's really nothing to change about this team, in my opinion. I don't really think there's anything really wrong with it. And again, I don't really leave teams the same exact way year to year very often, but when I do, it's typically for a good reason. I mean, if I'm looking at this team right now, I really don't know where that upgrade would come from. I mean, don't get me wrong, Franz Wagner has not put up the most incredible, mind-blowing numbers, but he's still an 88 overall. And for the assets we currently have, I don't really think we're finding a better player at that small forward spot. I mean, of course, I'd be dumb not to look, so I'll do our 2029 first round pick in a second, just to look. There's nothing here. I mean, yeah, just not a chance. So yeah, man, we're going to be running it back. There's nothing we're going to change about this team right now. I think another year of progression will obviously help a ton, and we're heading into the fourth and final year looking like this. I'll see you guys with the rotation. It is officially the fourth and final season for us here in Orlando. We changed absolutely nothing about this rotation. However, we did make a change at the head coaching spot. Ty Lue comes in, he replaces Jamal Mosley, and maybe he's the missing piece along with some of the progression on some of these younger players. Let's see how it works out. Scoot Henderson, Donovan Mitchell. That is one explosive backcourt. We have Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and Jarrett Allen. Bench unit, Jalen Suggs, Matas Buzelis, Cole Anthony, Bol, and Kevon Looney. We have 1080 overalls on this team. I'm feeling really good. I want a championship. Year 4 ends with a record of 74-8. Obviously, a beautiful, beautiful, tremendous regular season. It's the greatest regular season record in NBA history. But it doesn't mean anything if you can't do it in the playoffs. So we're going to find out. Luka Doncic is your MVP. Basala Bagioka, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I'm definitely not, is your Rookie of the Year. I'm not sure how Dallas ends up with the 3rd overall pick when they have Luka, but they do. Amen Thompson, 6th Man of the Year. Victor Wembanyama, Defensive Player of the Year. Jordan Walsh, Most Improved. And Ty Lue wins Coach of the Year as we do go 74-8. We're heading into the playoffs, and I'm feeling good about the team, man. It doesn't mean we're automatically going to win a championship. I think we all know that at this point. The scoring has definitely spread out a little bit. Again, it does not matter to me who does what, as long as we are winning. I say it basically every video, and we typically win at least one every video, so we'll see. Nick Smith Jr., I got to draft this, man. This dude has been balling. Yeah, I got to draft him in a video soon. Let somebody remind me of that, please. We are currently up 2-0 against the Raptors. We're up 3-0, and we do end up sweeping them. That's obviously a tremendous start to this video. We played them in the first round last year. We beat them. We played Atlanta in the second round last year, and we beat them. Let's see if we can maybe have history kind of repeat itself a little bit. They do end up taking Game 1 and Game 3. We are 2-2. We go up 3-2, and we're in the Eastern Conference Finals taking on the Detroit Pistons. This is a terrifying team. They have Halliburton, they have Ivy, they have Victor Wembanyama. Do they still? No. So it looks like they got rid of Cade Cunningham or just let him go. But obviously they preferred Tyrese Halliburton. But yeah, this man right here, who I think we all know how good he is going to be a problem right now. So let's see if we can maybe get by him. You know, you win so many games in the regular season, and I guess maybe it does translate to the finals sometimes. We're taking on Walker Kessler and the Utah Jazz. Scoot Henderson, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. You love to see it. Sexton, Achai Gajay, Markkanen, Taylor Hendricks, Walker Kessler. To be honest with you, they definitely have made some additions on their bench, but the majority of this team is currently members of the Utah Jazz, and they just let it kind of progress out. Jazz are a 3 seed here. Let's see if we can maybe get by them here in the NBA Finals. You win 74 games, you hope you get a championship. We're up 3-1 right now. We are back on our home court here for Game 5. I'd like to close it out, get a little bit of gameplay for you guys here. And we're battling back and forth right now with Utah. And are we going to be able to close it out? I have a bad history of choking in big games like this, so I'm going to hope I don't do it right now. 2:54 left to go here in Game 5. We are obviously on our home court here in Orlando, and I want a championship. I really do. I'm going to try to not let the ball get to Colin Sexton. They're going to kick it over here to Sadiq Bey. I don't know why. Okay, what in the hell? This is an insanely tall lineup that Utah is running right now, and let me tell you, there is not much in the NBA that I hate more than those Utah Jazz jerseys. I know it obviously doesn't update in the game, and I believe they said that they're going to be changing them after this year. I think they actually tried to. Scoot Henderson, 3? That's a horrible release. I think they said that they were actually going to try to change them this year, but it was too late, and Nike had already manufactured just way too many of them, or should I say, never mind. But at the end of the day, these jerseys are just terrible for me. They really are, and it especially sucks because they're alternate jerseys. The ones, I forget the exact logo. Good move, Jalen. I forget the exact logo, but they're throwback jerseys are just clean as hell. And it's just I've never seen so hot and so cold on so many different levels. It's just weird to me. Jazz are going to take a timeout with 2:03 left. We're up 7 here in Game 5. I want to make sure I get as many starters in as possible. Did I see? Okay, Donovan Mitchell is here. I don't know why he wasn't in the game. You would think that you would want your best player in, an elimination game potentially. For us, closing them out. You would think with 2 minutes left to go, but just me. Donovan Mitchell here is 17, 8, and 7 on the night. I'm going to try to play on-ball D, Scoot Henderson against Colin Sexton. I'm probably going to get torched, aren't I? Nope, that's not happening. Okay, good job there. Scoot Henderson, tremendous defense here. Let me kick it over here to Donovan Mitchell. I want to use Donovan Mitchell a little bit. Actually, son of a bitch. I know some of you guys like seeing, the gameplay here, but I think it's probably not too many, but there have definitely been some moments. Oh, good job, Donovan Mitchell. There have definitely been some moments that I've, hopped in the game and I've blown it. What the fuck are you doing, Franz? Oh, good God. Good defense again. I mean, that's just tremendous defense. Just absolutely clamped up here by Scoot Henderson. Clamped. Give it to Donovan Mitchell. You want your best player to have a ball in a moment like this. If we get a shot here to go, I mean, it's over. There's no way they're coming back. Donovan Mitchell straight down the lane, dunks it home. I will see you guys with the Finals MVP. We end up defeating the Utah Jazz in 5 games. Scoot Henderson is your Finals MVP. It looks like we made the right decision by drafting him 3rd overall back in the 2023 draft. This team won 74 games, and I like it. I do like it a lot, man. We ended up with 10 80-plus overalls, which is obviously great. We pulled off a crazy blockbuster trade for Donovan Mitchell, and I had a ton of fun doing this one. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like down below. That'd obviously be awesome. Let me know any other video ideas down below in the comments section. I'm ready to get back into some challenges, so let me know which ones you want to see in terms of those. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one.